Hey people, Indrid here, welcome back to the Elite League show. This is Leviathan Hive to kick us off, and Dark Riku on the blue side with a Force Commander, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank and disrupt, buff and all that good stuff. Up against, on the red side, Twilight with the Lord General, fights range combat, begins with the retinue of Stormtroopers to help him out, strong defense and support capabilities, and a powerful mustache. Look at it. Overpowered, some would say. A cigar too, I mean, what is he up to? West side for Riku, east side for Twilight. Very long map, east to west. Sentinel is on the way. We'll most likely see that guy barrel forward and try and get a read on Riku's position here. Might see double tacks. Or maybe straight into devs. Or maybe double tacks and then devs. Why not? Which suggests some catechins as soon as possible for Twilight. Capping all around. Scouts will go for the contested VP, which might get them caught by the Sentinel depending on where this fella goes. Oh, we have double Sentinels for Twilight. Alrighty then. Looks like he's dodging those scouts for now. Taking some shots at Marines, but they can, there we go, turn on their Kraken bolts and do some serious damage. Look at that. Just a few seconds of firing at the Sentinel there. Scouts will cap and get away fine. And we might see a nasty pincer on his tactical marines here. They can't get cover from both sides very easily. Those guardsmen getting their sergeant, of course. Force Commander in to tie up the Lord General. But Twilight should do pretty well here. Riku does go for the double tactical marines, and I expect into Devastators, especially when he sees that second Sentinel. Here it is. Sentinels are vehicles with heavy infantry armor, so they do take good damage from anti-infantry weapons, such as a heavy bolter to their face. Lord General going for a decap. Going to lose both of his retinue fellas. There we go. Now he needs to send some letters home and get more. He can reinforce them in the field though, which is pretty handy. Is it 25? It is 25. Yep, we do have the ground pound. And there's a good stomp. Knocking those Marines back into some stuff to smash. Knockback, stun, and a little bit of damage. Twilight with a good start here. But Riku now has Devastators. Can start to control engagement. Send out one of the tactical Marines to cap. And then fight with devs. Is it worth it to get Storm Shield here? It might be. Especially when those guardsmen can get plasma guns going in tier 2. Devastators are not going for the fight. Unless he just thinks they're still here. Are they going to cap? They're going to cap. This is a mistake, I think, from Riku. The tactical marines will be overrun by just the sheer weight of lads fire. Look at that. These guys only in light cover were getting shot up pretty bad. There's a stomp. Those guys were already in retreat, I believe. Force Commander is getting the Chainsword and Storm Shield. And I think that's going to do pretty damn well for him. Devastators can now join the fight. Here we go. Scouts, meanwhile, look at this. Taking that wreck point very deep in Twilight's territory. Medical Sergeant is up for the Lord General. Allow those guardsmen to stay in the fight longer and repair Sentinels. Should be able to repel Twilight, but he did get a decap on the power and a decap on the VP. There we see the defendability, slowing down these units around the Force Commander. But giving him suppression immunity, which is not important here, but 50% range damage resistance, which is a big deal. Big deal. When you're already tough Marines, makes a massive difference. Good stomp on the Devastators, but I don't think the Sentinel is going to get away. Double repairs is not enough. And down it goes. Force Commander, of course, does lose access to his sidearm when he's got a shield, and that thing does work, so he's losing out some DPS there. Getting some hits in. Tactical Marines trying to force close combat on the poor little guardsmen that don't want to get in close combat with anything. Maybe Rippers. Maybe they can beat Rippers in melee. But I'm not actually sure about that. All 3 gens up for Dark Riku, 2 for Twilight, and a heavy weapon squad. Was expecting catechins. Could get the flak jacket or whatever it is that stops suppression. The Lord General, his armor. It's not stabilizers. Stabilizers are the heal, I think. Tactical Marines here with this crazy fast capping. Look at that. Gonna get this VP actually. Sentinels scared off by the Devastators, who now set up on the power, and Dark Prickle will look to be bashing it, I imagine. Do we have a Flamer on the way? We do have a Flamer in play already. There it is. Flamer weapons generally very good at taking down generators. They were suppressed briefly, but then Defend came into play. Does drain energy while it's active. Sentinel gets in for a very good stomp. Beautiful approach there from Twilight. These players, of course, both multiple monthly Rumble tournament winners. Big veterans of Dawn of War 2. Don't play as much these days as they did. Not many people do, but they come out for stuff like the Elite League. Generators repurchased. Big retreat there from Riku. That stomp was amazing. But got 2 gens out of it. Now a decap and a retake for Twilight needs to get onto the contested VP. You would think. Scouts being annoying. Really annoying. Might drop a model here. Did they retreat in time? I guess so. Going to be chased. Sentinel always looks so inaccurate. They did retreat through a heavy bolter, but not enough to get a model there. Tier 2 for Riku. He's able to go tier 2, I mean. What about Twilight? Nope. 332 to 384 on the VP's 1-to-1 cap. Very, very close. An even tier 1 Twilight with a strong start, but the Devastator is really turning the tide for Riku. Able to get up to the power, do a little bashing. If it wasn't for that very good approach and stomp, might have got a full gen bash there. And a decap or something. Uh-oh, Sentinel's got itself in trouble. Gets away, 318 to 384. And tier 2 for Riku. Maybe into a Librarian to support the Devastators. Makes a big difference when there's a Sentinel coming at your devs and you can avail of time to get them the hell out of there. Or just instantly turn to face the Sentinel even. Force Commander able to get in on the Heavy Bolter using the Defend. And more power bashing. And look at the damage to the Guardsmen here. Getting roasted alive using their Medical Sergeant heal. One gen goes down, but now being tied up by the Lord General, and they will be forced to retreat. I don't think Riku has dropped a model here. 291 to 384. Tier 2 for Twilight, not that far behind. Devastator's covering this VP now. Twilight will have to flank, you would think. Riku knows it and pulls back. Yeah, hard for your Sentinel to get XP when nothing dies. Sergeant for those tactical Marines there. And now they're turning into Stern Guard veterans to get those Hellfire rounds locked and loaded in and burning the skin of these poor Guardsmen. Sentinel getting a decap. 291 to 367. Scouts continuing to harass this north side. Massive pain in the ass for Twilight. Having to constantly retake it. And of course his Guardsmen are not as quick around the map as Scouts are. That's a Chimera on the way now for Twilight. And it is a Librarian for Riku. Has that power weapon, a Force Sword, and some very nice abilities. Smites can throw it out on blobs of Guardsmen, or maybe even the Heavy Weapon Squad. And Veil of Time, of course, is amazing, which he starts with these days. He's also got his own quickening thing. Gives him a bit more damage resistance. There's the Veil of Time on the Devastators. Allows them to move faster and removes their setup time, which for a setup team is a pretty big deal. Removes one of your big downsides, the other being that you have a limited firing arc. These guys with advanced targeting too. 267, 363 on the VP, single cap for Twilight. Gonna get the double as well, I think. Looks like the Commissar retinue member is up on the Lord General. There he is. Gives him an awesome shield. There's a Chimera. Now these fellas can reinforce in the field, and they have plasma guns too. Sacred Standard for the Force Commander. Devastators with Veil of Time going to get close to him, set up, and do some real damage here. Smite thrown out. And Hellfire rounds now loaded in and on these heavy weapon fellas, and down they go. They went down pretty fast once the Force Commander got in there. Nicely done by Riku. That's so much damage. Hellfire rounds with the Sacred Standard buff. 251 to 363. And Tactical Marines getting in behind for a bash, but do they try to do too much here? Need to try and focus them down, does Twilight. Looks like they're going to get away, maybe. 2 hit points, they do get away. That is a clutch escape for Dark Riku. Chimera got very low thanks to the Devastators, who might go down. They do go down. Riku started off that fight incredibly well, but got a little bit misjudged of that engagement, trying to get the Chimera down. 244, 358 on the VPs. Devastators replaced, which makes a lot of sense. They were doing awesomely well for Riku until he overextended them there a little bit. Scouts being chased, which is, I'm sure Riku is absolutely fine with. Look at them dragging this Lord General all over the place, who's almost level 2. The Force Commander is level 2. Power bashing now for Twilight. Chimera isn't shooting. Could be helping out here. But they get 2 gens. Now we have, that's a nasty combo. Flamer and Hellfire round Stern Guard buffed by the Sacred Standard. That is so much damage to these guardsmen. Look at this. Holy crap. They are dying so fast. And now he doesn't have the suppression. Needs something. Ogrins could get in there and mix it up. We have Las Cannon Devastators. He really wants to go after that Chimera, trying to get on rear armor here with Veil of Time. Librarian getting stuck in. He does do some decent damage, this fella. Has an inspiration on kill too. 240 to 346. More power bashing for Twilight. Spotted the opening and gets it. Almost gets it. Turns to engage. They are really not trading well against these 2 Marine squads with plasma guns even. Ouch. Sentinel took a las cannon shot and goes down. Twilight now starting to reel. 233 to 346. Force Commander back in. There's that Sacred Standard buff again. Everything ducks inside the Chimera. That heavy weapon squad loss was a big deal. Big deal. Got rid of one of the Tactical Marine squads. Creeping Barrage. Does a decent job. Gets rid of everything at least. Medical Sergeant needs to be repurchased for the Lord General. Ogrins are on the way. Uh-oh. Mr. Las Cannon, Mr. Chimera. Where's the Veil of Time? There it is. Are they set up? They are. They get 1 shot but are now tied up. Didn't drop a model though. Twilight still in this, but now has a Dreadnought to deal with soon. And here are the Ogrins. Heavy melee squad. Can disrupt and take some punishment too. Twilight gets the maybe a triple cap here. And has a VP lead. Riku has the roster advantage for sure. Here is the Dreadnought. I will now have Missile Launcher Tactical Marines. So no more Flamer for those guardsmen to worry about. Having nightmares about this Flamer. Ogrins need to try and get on that Missile Launcher, I guess. Lord General can try and force close combat on the Stone Guard. There's that medical sergeant back up. You can repurchase them for a reduced cost when they go down, which is pretty nice for the Lord Dreadnought in a way. Dreadnought staying in its melee state for now. Can like just chase after the Chimera maybe. Ogrins don't really want to fight it, I don't think. 173 to 309. Capping is the Librarian over there. Force Commander has got a fight on his hands. Does get the cap. Ogrins will catch him on retreat, but I don't think they'll take him down. That's a lot of damage though. He does get away. Is Riku going to approach? Yep. I thought maybe he'd wait for the Force Commander. Now, what target did the Ogrins choose here? Dreadnought out in front as you'd expect. Melter Gun for the Lord General though. Doesn't want to get tied up. Creeping barrage again. And Riku didn't like the look of it. Gets the hell out of there. Now good damage on a Dreadnought. Ogrins chasing. Turns to use Emperor's Fist. Good play from Riku. I think it would have definitely gone down if he didn't do that. Heavy turret on the way for Twilight. I don't think it's going to come down quickly enough to get a shot on the Dreadnought though. Maybe. Oh, it does. Look at that. Boom. Those guys. Massive amounts of damage. Riku not happy. Not happy with that. 169303. I always forget how much these things cost. He's now taking shots from the missile launcher and the last cannon. Those things actually have vehicle armor. Now the Ogrins kind of have free reign. I mean, the Force Commander still has Battle Cry, but without his Thunderhammer, they'll happily engage him, I think. And down he goes. Now those guys get a 40% buff from his Sacred Standard. And Twilight with a double cap and doing well. I thought Riku, once that Dreadnought came out, was gonna do some work, but that Melter Gun, Ogrins turned it on. Did a lot more than I thought they would. And an excellent play with the heavy turret at the end. It did go down, but getting a Dreadnought is worth it, I think. 111303 triple cap for Twilight. Scout trying to get one, but Chimera is there. Lord General using his shield to stand up to this fight. Down goes a Stormtrooper, that's alright. Easy to replace. Riku needs to get back on his natural victory point. Map looking very red right now. Gets the contested. I guess the scouts are going to turn around. Go after that natural. Maybe. There we go. They're moving. Razorback for Dark Riku. Much like the Chimera, acts as a reinforcement point and a transport for the Space Marines. Getting some extra armor plating. Needs to be careful though. Ogrins will rip it apart. And they already got a bunch of XP for helping to take down the Dreadnought and the Force Commander there. Twilight not wasting any time now. Getting straight back onto this contested victory point to get the 2-1 back once Riku takes this. Some scratches on the Razorback there from the Melter Guns. How much are they each? Just over 12 DPS. You do get the retinue having Melter Guns too. That's not bad. 36 DPS or so. 37 I guess. Near enough. This is a very important fight for Dark Riku. Everything is very bunched up there. Don't think Twilight has anything to really take advantage of that. Down goes that turret. Scouts, oh, this is Librarian, sorry. Trying to go up the south side, but Ogrins are there. And those Ripper Guns, look at that, doing some good damage to him as he approaches. Now he's going to try and fight him, which is not going to turn out very well for the Librarian. Meanwhile, on the contested VP, we have a big old firefight. Who needs cover when you've got guns, fellas, eh? Lord General gets out of there, but those plasma guns doing work to those tactical marines, taking out a Stone Guard veteran there too. But Riku does win the war of attrition, able to reinforce off the Razorback. Where's the Chimera at? Back here. Librarian got away, I suppose. Yeah, now the Force Commander's fighting the Ogrins, disrupting them. That's a heal from the Medical Sergeant. But that's too much for the Ogrins to deal with. 19 to 279. Riku right back in this now, with a 2-to-1 cap, starting to stabilize, using this Razorback very well. Very shrewd purchase from Dark Riku. Here comes some Stormtroopers for Twilight to try and win those ranged firefights, I suppose. Some more Ogrins would have been awesome, I think. Tactical Marines need to get right back out of base quickly to contest this victory point over here. Guardsmen now fully upgraded with Commissars. They are doing a hell of a lot of damage. Buffed, of course, by the Fight Harder. Razorback got pretty low. And now that Lascannon Devastator squad is getting shot to pieces. Flak Jacket is in. Oh, this is the immunity to knockback one. I can't remember what the suppression immunity one's called anymore. Pretty sure stabilizers are the health regen. How much does this do to vehicles? Wow. Down goes the Razorback. 19 to 201. Just as I say Riku's doing well, Twilight comes back strong. There's that Thunderhammer now for the Force Commander. Level 3 and has had enough of these Ogrins. Anti-armor Stormtroopers to shoot him up. I guess they were going to go after the Razorback, but down it's gone. And down goes the Force Commander. They have overwhelmed you. Back on the VP here. But it's tough. No cover here to fight behind. Going to be so hard to cap. Librarian comes into melee. Getting some kills. But those Marines getting awfully low now. The Stone Guard veterans trying to tank some damage. With And They Shall Know No Fear active. So many plasma guns though. They live and they got the cap. Heroic stuff over there. Librarian tying things up as it can. 19 to 184. Force Commander has been repurchased. Awesome special attack. Look at that knockback. Knocking stuff into other stuff. His Librarian is kicking some ass. Look at that work. Well done you. Level 3 Librarian. Who needs a Force Commander when you have that fella? Oh, someone died. It was Scouts. They did really well. Just capping. The whole game capping. Did they even shoot anything? Here we go. Full health Force Commander with a Thunderhammer. Against level 2 Ogrins. Force Commander does not have an armor upgrade. I think he's trying to bait out the battle cry and then try and dodge it, but he's just taking hits. And that's a power melee hits against this super heavy infantry squad doing big damage. Down goes one of them in a cloud of blood. Going to reinforce off the Chimera though. 13 to 167. Riku goes for the decap using And They Shall Know No Fear, but there's the creeping barrage again. Gets them off the cap. 8 VPs left. Force Commander goes down. Ogrins have reinforced off the Chimera. This might be it. This might be it. How much red Riku has? That's crazy. Almost 900. Maybe a few more 4D Emperor usages would have been good in these firefights he's had. Might have made a difference. Looks like Twilight has this game. Ogrins getting in amongst those Marines, and there it is. Twilight gets it with a double cap as a close one. Very cool back and forth. That I loved that heavy turret play from Twilight as it was chasing a dreadnought. I did not think it had the range. Twilight obviously knew better. We had a level 5 Lord General at the end. Did a hell of a lot of killing. And the Force Commander was level 3 and downed with that Thunderhammer. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey people, Indrid here, back with some Elite League. This is Calderas Desert, and on the blue side we have a Guxis with a Force Commander, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. Red side, Forest Radio, Ravana Alpha, tunneling hero with great mobility, powerful offense and some supports. Massive horn on his head too, looks like. Starts off in ranged combat but can get melee weapons. Calderas Desert then, pretty big 1v1 map, relatively open. We have a natural for Forest on the east, natural for Aguxis on the west, and contested in the center. Double scouts for Aguxis to help him traverse this map. I'd probably go into some assault marines because we do have double termagants, and most likely into warriors for Forest. Ravana's going to meet the Force Commander here, take some pot shots. Don't think he's going to finish that cap. No, backs away. No crippling poison yet to frustrate him though. Warriors most likely going to be the first power purchased for Forest. Get that synapse going and that awesome disruption. Hormagaunts are going to be frustrated here. Two scout squads together, even with their little bolters. Their little bolters can really frustrate a melee squad with their speed. Move one away while the other shoots, that kind of thing. Although he's just moving both of them at the same time here. Busy microing on the other side. Force Commander alongside Tactical Marines trying to close for some melee combat on these termagants who do not want to fight in close combat in general. This is going to retreat them off. Didn't want to drop models, but it's going to lead them right back to this tunnel here, which is going to be taken down for some red and some XP. Get 15 red for a tunnel, I think. Warrior Brood is on the way. What does a Guxis get up though? Tunnel goes down. No flamer or anything. How many generators? No generators. So most likely devastators then. 473 to 500 on the VPs very early on. 2-to-1 cap for Forest. Here are the Warrior Brood. Start off as a melee squad with power melee weapons, can jump into combat and provide a synapse. That's what that green stuff around their head is. And when stuff gets into synapse range, they'll also get green crap on their head. Like this. Gives them some more damage resistance and suppression resistance. West side, we got some dead Hormagaunts. Force Commander doing his thing. Pretty good at dealing with those early low-level melee squads. Battle cry is pretty awesome. Devastators are on the way for Aguxis, shooting up the node. Other termagants, still no toxin sacks. Hormagaunts just reinforcing. Couple scouts are being a pain in the arse over here. A lot of cover for them to use. Ways to break line of sight if they need to as well. That massive white tree is a line of sight blocker, I believe. Tactical Marines getting a cap with their super fast capping. So that training they have. Superhuman capping. Where's the Warrior Brood now? Are they capped mid, did they? These Tactical Marines get caught in a very, very bad position. Do get away though. Here are the Devastators. Have a heavy bolter that sets up as such with a limited firing arc. Can suppress units and deal tons of damage if they get too close. Force Commander is alone here and backs the hell away. Ravana getting into melee. Looks like we have the Crippling Talon and Hardened Carapace. This is awesome. Allows him to do that. Burrow indefinitely. Knocks, but does it do damage when he emerges? Just says knockback here. Power Bash. We do have Tactical Marines using their Kraken Bolts to deal extra damage to heavy infantry, which is what Warrior Brood are. And these guys, being synapse creatures, of course, will explode and do some nasty things to these Formagaunts and Termagants. Not sure if those Termagants are close enough. Now they are. Force Commander coming in. Does some work with that bolt pistol, but the Krypton poison is there. Now he needs to be careful. The Force Commander gets knocked over. It's a hell of a lot of damage. He might go down. I think he will go down. Yep. Tried to just draw some fire there and get in. But that was a pretty quick kill. That knockback made it possible, of course, from the Warrior Brood. It did drop a model at the end there. 419 to 441. Triple cap here for Aguxis, and Assault Squad is on the way. Forest might get Raveners, but could just be happy going tier 2 here. Ravener burrowing around and going for a decap on that requisition point. Now needs to repurchase the Force Commander, which is a big pain in the arse because it's 250 requisition at least if you wait long enough for the price to drop. No more tunnels around. The tunnels do have a relatively long cooldown time. I think it's over a minute. It's like 70 seconds or something. Maybe it's like 100 seconds. Because we haven't seen another one. That tunnel just outside base now has no exit. 419 to 383 double cap. There's a jump. That guy, the burrowed Ravener, being spotted by the sergeant of the scouts. And power bash here. Good timing from Aguxis to get that flame up, but can he pull this off? Warrior Brood in play. Devastator's also in play though. Need to move up a little bit, I think. Can jump the Termagants with the Assault Squad and follow up with a grenade maybe. Where are the other scouts? They're hanging out mid. Gonna have a fight with some Termagants. Termagants win that with their Toxin Sac upgrade especially. Pretty effective power bash with the old flamer here. Might get the full thing. Nothing else is helping though. Assault Squad just hanging out. Devastator's facing the west. I think they're going to get it though, just the flamer. Looks like Forest kind of gave up trying to contest the power. There was so much stuff, and in fact goes for a power trade instead. Not the worst thing ever, but did lose a full farm. Raven Alpha getting caught. What is the DPS on this thing? 55.55 melee DPS. As you can see, that the speed and damage reduction is pretty substantial, 40%. I'm not sure if that debuff applies to the entire squad or just the model that you hit. The Assault Squad jumping in, trying to bully the Termagants, but the Warrior Brood is there, and so are the Hormagaunts with Catalyst. Global ability of the Raven Alpha, doubling their damage but causing them to lose 50% of their health over time. Can be deadly, as you might expect. Often used with zone thropes. Grenade on retreat. Kind of unlucky there at Aguxis that those guys were so split up. It was timed and placed pretty well. 419 to 300. 2-to-1 cap for Aguxis. Assault Squad really changing up the dynamics of these engagements. Tier 2 for Forest though. More power bashing. Keeping his army together and compact, has the Force Commander is still down. Doing well without him though. And here's the Assault Squad coming back out. Might be going for this VP over here. Aguxis, oh, he's getting spammed by invites on Steam, I suppose. Into tier 2 is the Ravener Alpha. No sign of anything coming out. Needs some more requisition to get something going. And more capping. Bit of a lull in the action here, but it might kick off in the mid. Warrior Brood going for the cap. Double Termagants backing them up. They wouldn't be allowed to get close enough to use their flamer there, the Tactical Marines, because of the Krypton poison. So they back away. Scout grenade on that chunk of Termagants could be deadly. And swing the engager could also try to time it for Warrior Brood, since after they jump into combat, they won't be able to move for like a second or so while the animation completes. Can time a grenade there. Ravener burrowing around. Hormagaunts eating generators. Termagants needed to back off though. They do not want to take this fight, and away they go. If Aguxis keeps his stuff together like this, it's hard for Forest to stand against it. Now getting a Tyrant Guard on the field for some oomph out there on the battlefield. Will happily, very happily engage the Assault Squad in melee. Oh, grenade attempted. Looks like he got a few models there. 406 to 286. More power bashing. Good timing again from Aguxis. Might be able to get a node. Nope. Where are the devs right now? Oh, they were capping, were they? Tyrant Guard hits the field. 2,500 hit points of a very angry alien. Under Synapse has that nice speed boost. Warrior Brood with their adrenal glands, so now the Hormagaunts are under melee Synapse. Making them a hell of a lot more effective. This is now, all of a sudden, a much more risky fight for Aguxis. You see him backing off here. Must have spotted that Tyrant Guard. Ravener Alpha still tunneling around. Being spotted by the Scout Sergeant there. He's the only fellow who pays attention to the ground. Going for the cap. Might be a 2-to-1 for Forest here. Maybe even a triple. We'll see if Aguxis can stop this. Looks like it's going to be a 2-to-1 all said and done. Hormagaunts capping mid. Tyrant Guard breaking stuff. Now under Synapse again. Still looks like a pretty bad fight for Aguxis. With no Force Commander around, it really needs that Thunderhammer in there. There's no Plasma Gun to help take down the Tyrant Guard as well. Razorback now for Aguxis. Was expecting him to wait for a Dreadnought, but I guess not. Crippling Poison on the Assault Squad. Tyrant Guard needs to get after the Devastators there. Or not, just go straight for the Assault Squad. Jumping in are the Warriors. They will take a lot of damage at this range though from that heavy bolt. Look at that. Losing a model. Took a chunk of health off the Tyrant Guard. 10% I believe, which would have been 250. Decent grenade again from Aguxis. A little bit too late, but still got 3 models, or was it 2? Capillary Tower, Razorback on the chase, has a twin linked heavy bolter and allows the Space Marines to reinforce and transport infantry. Won't do a lot of damage to the Tyrant Guard with the super heavy infantry armor since it's resistant to piercing damage. Uh-oh. These guys have been given orders they're not following. They're not capping over there. It's a common occurrence in Dawn of War 2. I'm not sure if it's just everyone misclicking now and then or there's some kind of problem where units forget what they're doing. Venom Brood on the field to shoot down this Razorback. Forest hopes. Getting their range. Synapse going to buff up the Termagants. Going to be an interesting fight if this all kicks off. The Force Commander is still down. Been down for a while now. Not seen the Ravener mixing it up in fights very often. He's using his Burrow to get around and cap. The Assault Squad did not like that fight, it turns out. Very quickly changed their mind. They now have their Sergeant though. Has a Power Sword and the awesome Merciless Strike ability. Which could really turn the tide if they get stuck in with the Warriors and the Hormagaunts. Not going to affect the Tyrant Guard very much. Can't knock this fella over. 318-244. Single here for Aguxis. Doing a decent job avoiding this Tyrannid Ball of Death. There's a Librarian now. Can support the Devastators with Veil of Time and also get some good offense going himself with Smite and some power melee damage. Ravener going for the Eastern VP. May spread out and cap more as well. Node goes down. Did they get a generator too or was it already down? I didn't notice. Venom Brood pretty good power bashers. Especially if they're alongside some buffed up Termagants, but the Termagants are on the east right now. Map is going to be very red. Center uncapped. Here's that Librarian. support sub-commander for Space Marines. You cannot discount his ability to fight, though. Oh, we have a las cannon. Take some chunks off that Tyrant Guard. There we go. Getting stuck into the assault squad. Venom Brood are off, so the Razorback can sit there and shoot without much of a threat now. The only threat being melee, which you can avoid. Tyrant Guard trying to charge away. It's a good charge, but gets hit again. The las cannon snaring movement on hit. Can he chase it? There's Veil of Time. Nope, turns around. Oh, he's just going to shoot down the Capillary Tower. Could have got another hit, I think. But it most likely still would have got away and just shield walled up and healed. I want to see this Ravener fighting. Not too often you get to see a melee Ravener Alpha really go after some kills. Force Commander is still down. Power Bash attempts, got the node, but there's a Warrior Brood and a Formagaunt in your face. Razorback has been a good choice so far for Aguxis. Uh-oh. That's kind of not the most effective thing at fighting Termagants. Taking a lot of damage there. There's a smite. That was pretty effective. Might see a grenade. He's trying to line it up, I think. There it is. Nicely done. Really nicely done. I think he got like 6 of them or something. Uh-oh. Assault squad. Way too close to Tyrannid Teeth and they go down. Misplay. Big misplay from Aguxis. I guess he was too busy lining up this grenade. I didn't even see that they'd gone in there. He was trying to keep them away from the power harass, I think. But that's a big loss. He has tons of red now, Aguxis. But not much else. Resources. What's this? Scouts being chased. There's that massive speed debuff. The debuff circle only applies to the models that are hit, so I wonder if it is indeed only the model hit that gets debuffed, but because they have to stay in coherency, the speed kind of applies to all of them. 288164. 2-to-1 cap for Aguxis. Tier 3 now for Forest. Needs to try and push the advantage here without the assault squad being on the field. Aguxis needs to play defensive now. Ravener Alpha runs away. Or slithers away, I suppose. Might get the Razorback. Wow, got it very, very close. There are 2 scouts around to repair. Tyrant Guard is a menace. Warrior Brood turn around to cap. Does have some VPs to make up Forest, but might get a triple going. And a strong army position here. Venom Brood will target that Razorback again. Maybe. Razorback pops smoke to get some damage resistance. Still took a fair chunk. Force staff up on the Librarian. I don't think the Force Barrier will affect the Tyrant Guard, but it will send everything else flying. Oh, down goes a Razorback. Not sure why the Force Barrier wasn't used. Maybe it was used, I just didn't see it. Razorback caught out of position and gets taken down. Venom Brood drop a model, but the others should be able to get away, maybe. Veil of Time, Devastators. But they're only able to get 1 las cannon shot with it, I think. Tyrant Guard tries to charge out. Could see the Warrior Brood using a disruption to help save it here. A Flamer, though, not the most effective weapon against super heavy infantry, must be said. Triple cap for Forest. Aguxis gets out there trying to cap now. Force Commander back on his feet. No war gear, but Battle Cry is so awesome. Disruption and buff in one ability is pretty damn good. But here comes a Carnifex. That's pretty rough. All he's got is a las cannon, really, to fight vehicles with. It's not going to be enough. Carnifex is halfway done. Going to get a 2-to-1 here, Aguxis. VPs are pretty much evened up. Next few engagements, key, it feels like. Shotgun scouts moving up. Those guys already took a blast. Here comes some more. Chaining those together will help control the warriors, but shotguns versus Carnifex doesn't quite work out for you. Librarian getting those inspirations on kill. Look at that. That'll be stacking with the Force Commander Sacred Standard now. And also the Battle Cry, of course. Buffs all around, but here's a Carnifex for you to deal with. Could get some more Devastators up. Could also transition these fellas into a missile launcher. And if he can use for the Emperor or something, he could take it down. Could take it down. Just worried about this Tyrant Guard getting in, tying up those Devastators pretty quickly. Can't snare them both. One of them's going to get in there. Here comes that Carnifex. No upgrades, but it's still a 30-foot alien with talons the size of a person. Veil of Time devs doing their thing. Not sure how long it lasts. I'm guessing that's 10 seconds or something. Got 2 shots. Could have got a third, maybe even a fourth. They're playing it safe. One of our owners died. Who died? Oh, just a Marine. Level 3 tax. Does Aguxis go tier 3 and try and get Terminators? There's tons of red. Could drop a nuke as well, of course. Nice grenade. He's been pretty good with his grenades today, Aguxis. Ravenaf persuaded to leave. Have you leveled up yet? You are level 2. Now has the Synapse Aura for damage as well. Apparently Adilla's a liar. Dreadnought on the way for Aguxis. No tier 3 then. Force Commander now with Armor of Alacrity to sprint around and give his buffs to people. Wonder if those guys have 40 Emperor on them. I believe it's a similar effect to the banner. Just that generic buff circle. It might be something else. Force Barrier. First one I've seen happen. I'm sure they've happened on the screen. I just missed them. Barb Stranger Carnifex now. Tyrant Guard getting in. Look at that damage. Done really well, this Tyrant Guard. Borrowed Ravener is going to make these guys regret setting up there. Or regret even trying to leave. 69 to 111. Nice grenade again from Aguxis over there on those Hormagaunts. Almost wiped him out. Here comes a Dreadnought. Needs to target it. There we go. Yeah, it's going to take so much damage. Getting debuffed by the Ravener Alpha too. Look at that. That's pretty damn effective. Might finish it off here. Does finish it off. The Dreadnoughts did basically nothing. 68 to 105. Carnifex struggling to shoot past this fan thing. There we go. Librarian getting a kill. 71 DPS on that staff, but hey, no more Librarian, it turns out. Can a Las Cannon finish off this thing? Can finish off this thing. Tyrant's Guard is going to go down. Triple cap now for Aguxis. Another Las Cannon, maybe? More Devastators, that's for sure. Might just go for advanced targeting for a bit more versatility. Spore Mine spawning. Doing some work against the Tactical Marines, trying to just run through that damage and get on the VP here. Now a single cap. There is stuff heading to the east. Scouts there to annoy them with grenades and stuff. Forcing close combat are the Tactical Marines here. Spore Mines not wanting to detonate and do friendly fire there, I suppose. Oh, Scouts did not harass the east side. I thought they would. Spore Mines dealt with. Termagants very nearly dealt with. Did run away at least. 65 to 43, no cap game. Force Commander hitting it in the field has made a big difference for Aguxis. Down for so long. And barely survives that cap. Levels to 3 now. That's some pretty quick leveling. 65 to 34. Forest must concentrate and not lose sight of those VPs. Need to try and focus on his natural and the mid now, I think. Force Commander's very low, might get shot down pretty quickly. Venom Brood trying to cap now. Might eat a grenade. Nope, doesn't get the cap though. Did the Carnifex get away? I guess it didn't. I completely missed that thing going down. Okay, well that's a big deal. Obviously, that's a big deal. He must have used for the Emperor or something, although he has 999 red Aguxis. Those Tactical Marines getting a Sergeant. There's the 2-to-1. Aguxis might have this. I thought it was Forest's game for sure when that Dreadnought went down, but taking out the Carnifex and the Tyrant Guard has really evened it up. The Force Commander's having a big impact. There's for the Emperor. That was for the Emperor there, I believe. On those scouts. It's like a orange glow rather than the yellow circle, I think. 65 to 16. It's back up to 999 red already. Just shredding those Termagants. The scouts have been pretty awesome, to be honest. 2-to-1. Can Forrest get in here? He's spawned in some without number Hormagaunts and Termagants, I think, but he needs something big to break lines here. Raven Alpha's down. And Guxis being nice and civil in his victory. And there it is. Aguxis takes it. That was pretty damn close. Very clutch engagement at the end there to take down the Tyrant Guard and the Carnifex. Level 3 Force Commander had a level 2 Raven Alpha. Would have liked to see this guy in combat a bit more, but he did a lot of capping. A lot of capping. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey people, Indrid here, back with the last game of today on Judgment of Carrion. And on the blue side, Dark Recruit with a Chaos Lord durable commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed, powerful offense and disruption fights mainly in melee combat. And red side, Phoenix with a Force Commander, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. Lamenters. Judgment of Carrion then, not a super popular map amongst players from what I've seen. It's kind of small, kind of weird. Have these narrow paths, but we'll see how it goes. Classic matchup, Chaos Lord versus Force Commander. He just blew the crap out of that thing. Was it one of those generators? I think it was. CSM and more scouts for Phoenix after the Tactical Marines. Riku, I guess, with Devastators to help hold that central area. Kraken Bolts, Tactical Marines shooting up these CSM. Man, that's a lot of damage. Holy crap. They're really closing for melee? Okay. Confident on not losing a model, and looks like he was right. Dark Riku here. Those guys going for the garrison now. I heard heretics yelling about something. They're probably being blown up. No, they're alive. It's a miracle, they're all alive. Scout DPS is so awesome that they couldn't even take a heretic model. Here's the second scout squad, gone to the west side. None of these VPs are natural. What's this? Oh, Tactical Marines shooting at the Chaos Lord now. Not too pleased. Can he get on them though? There's the melee charge. Smack. So power melee weapon, that very impressive looking demon sword he has. One of the best weapon models in the game, I think. And it's just a default weapon. Still trying to chase stuff around. Oh, he's been frustrated. He's going home. He's taking his toys and he's going home. Breaking stuff still though. Double CSM for Dark Riku here. Help him pour some DPS on that Force Commander and get him out of the engagements a bit sooner. Can also use Doom Blast to frustrate him. Havoc's now. Phoenix with what? Just a node. Oh, that's Dark Riku's node, dumbass. This is Phoenix's node. More scouts. He's going snipers, I think. Awesome. Don't see mass scout snipers all that often. Don't really offer you quite the same amount of utility as rangers do. But hey, they'll still shoot you in the face pretty well. Force Commander's found some heretics. He loves fighting default heretics. Battlecry just wrecks them. Which is why these guys are backing the hell off. Even against a low level Force Commander. Bolt Pistol is pretty gnarly too. 2 models off them. 3. Havoc's capping, not going mid right now. 487 to 446, 2-1 cap here for Phoenix. And we do have double sniper scouts up. And shotguns on the others. It's scout time. The initiates are pulling their weight in this fight, I guess. Power bash, but no flamer, so it's going to be slow. Yeah, look at the damage to the Chaos Lord on those snipers. It's nasty. Wow. Chaos Lord, I think one of those heroes that got shorter range on his default sidearm, down to 26 from the usual 38. War Boss also got that, and the Brother Captain, I think. Snipers starting to show their worth. Took out a CSM model, got the Chaos Lord off the field before he decapped as well. Now some Noise Marines for Dark Riku. I probably would have got some more heretics up myself. Can just kind of run them at the scouts and Doom Blast and make them retreat off. Noise Marines are pretty awesome though. Here they are. Have that Sonic Blast that can shut down ranged attacks. I think it needs to fire at something for 4 seconds these days before that effect happens. Used to be instantaneous, which was pretty damn strong. Still very strong. Shotguns bashing over here. There's only 2 of them left. But they're following their orders. 444 to 435 on the VPs. Scouts are not going to like this. Noise Marines in general, very good at dealing with scouts. They do a lot of damage and shut down their ranged weapons, obviously. And of course, they can't throw grenades when they're getting sonic blasted. Don't think he's lost a Marine yet, Phoenix. Force Commander's mostly been just killing heretics, although these fellas did drop a mod to the snipers. Shotgun blast for some suppression and knockback, and an escape for those scouts. They did not get that node down though. What's going on over here? Power bashing from the Noise Marines. Sonic Blast are also pretty damn good at shaking apart power generators, it turns out. Doom Blast to suppress this guy. No. Lets the Force Commander get back in on these Noise Marines here. They dropped 2 models. Iron Halo up for the Force Commander and Artificer. He's going to be very tough and annoying to deal with. Even more so. 409, 414. Players starting to think about tier 2, I'm sure. Combi Flamer in play for the Chaos Lord. Now it goes back up to the 38 range, I assume, with the Combi Flamer. And of course, way more DPS. That thing is very painful. Help him peel off those scout models, and of course, since they have sniper rifles, they now cost power to reinforce, as it tells you here. Triple cap for Dark Riku. Solid tier 1. But a pretty heavy one. Combi Flame is 30 power, I think. Noise Marines and Havocs are both 30 power. 90, it's not too bad. Didn't spend anything on the Heretics. But, and no Eternal War either. So it wasn't that power heavy of a tier 1 despite having a bunch of stuff on the field. 409 to 344. Down goes another CSM. Heretics barely getting away. Scouts also getting pretty close. You're getting a decap. And more bashing for Riku. This is going to be big. To get a full bash and a cap on this power. It's a big deal. There's only a node over here. Force Commander's getting stuck in. With the Iron Halo up. So difficult for CSM to really do anything to him. A single CSM squad in tier 1. Tier 2 for both players. Pretty much the same time. Looks like Phoenix went slightly ahead. Chaos Lord might be able to get one of these Marines. Maybe. They're still staying in this fight. Did get one. Perhaps lucky not to get two of them. Not sure what these scouts are up to. That must have been an old order for Phoenix. 383, 344. Force Commander. Perfect hero for getting in and tying up Noise Marines, since he can use Battle Cry and not be affected by the cacophony. Although, hey, I suppose any of the fat heroes can do that too. 370 to 344 on the VPs. Phoenix with a 2-1. Tier 2 is being hit. Nothing queued up for Phoenix though. What about Riku? Chaos Lord got pretty low. Blood Crusher for Riku here. Man, Chaos Lord down to... Oh, goes down. Bolt Pistol finished him off. And has no requisition to repurchase. And the Chaos Lord does a lot for him here. Snipers will have a lot better time not having to worry about that Combi Flamer. More CSM drop into those snipers. What? How many they've killed now? It's been at least 4, I think. It's a lot of value there. Havoc's capping. Against snipers, they're not having the best time. Need to keep them moving. Here's the Blood Crusher then. Bloodletter riding a Juggernaut. Heavy melee damage. And can charge and do other things like roar. Not the toughest thing around, but there's no anti-vehicle on the field. Oh, it's a Stern Guard. We do have Vengeance rounds loaded in, ready to roll and shoot at the Blood Crusher. Might be better off going after those scouts. Chasing them into base. Although that would have run him straight into the Stern Guard. Maybe he's just wary of what else is back there. More power bashing here from the Noise Marines. They have more than made up for their cost in just bashing gens here. Blood Crusher gets the Force Commander off the field with the help of the Havocs, and we're going to see a full bash, I think, maybe even a decap. Stern Guard are not really able to approach with the Havocs there, but they can take shots of these Noise Marines. It's a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Now Blood Crusher chases them. They can't shoot at the Blood Crusher if it's smacking them in the head. Might just chase them back into base here. Devastators for Phoenix, most likely for a las cannon to make short work of the Blood Crusher. There it is, being purchased. Not sure if Riku spotted them, but he's backing off anyway. Aspiring Champion Heretics now. So now they should have been one-shotted by the scouts, I think. Depends what level the scouts are, I suppose, and what level the heretics are. 357, 286, double cap here for Dark Riku. Heretics repairing. Now trying to get stuck in. There's a Power Fist up on the Force Commander now. Blood Crusher needs to be very careful. Vengeance rounds, a las cannon, and a Power Fist. If all of those things come to bear, it's not going to last long. This is a... Oh no, they just special attack the Force Commander. Might still go down. Might still go down. Does go down. The Noise Marines are taken care of. They got caught fighting scouts over there, I think. Bloodletters on the field now for Riku. But a Phoenix all of a sudden looking pretty strong. That's a very scary force commander to have to deal with. Chaos Lord is level 2. Doesn't want to fight him toe to toe anymore with the Iron Halo and that Power Fist. Still do a fine job chasing scouts and tying up the Stern Guard though. Here are the Bloodletters talking about tying up Stern Guard. These guys will kill him pretty quick with those Hellblades. Demon infantry, so they benefit greatly from worship, much like the Blood Crusher. And there's some scary power melee damage. 357 to 193. Here comes a Chaos Lord. Dark Halo would be pretty good for him here, I think. Would have been able to stay in that fight right there and tie up the Stern Guard. Bloodletters and Blood Crusher fighting. The Force Commander now doesn't have the energy to use Flesh over Steel because it's all been drained by the shield. Not sure if he already used it. Blood Crusher did take some damage, that's for sure. Does not have melee resistance to Blood Crusher, so get on it with a heavy melee weapon and it's going to fall pretty fast most of the time. CSM having nightmares about these snipers. Oh, Riku did drop one of his CSM. I didn't even notice that. Wonder if the snipers have anything to do with that. Level 4 Force Commander. And level 2 Chaos Lord. It's poised for like a big engagement to swing it here. We'll see if that happens. What was that? Oh, drop pod. Tactical Marines piling out of it, and Las Cannon taking massive shots at the Blood Crusher. It's not going to survive. Not sure why those Stern Guard. Oh, there we go. They're changing weapon. Changing ammo, I should say, to the Hellfire. Heretics almost whacked out. Some more Bloodletters, I think, for Riku would be pretty good. Does have some blood sacrifice ones here. He just saw them disappear. 343, 154. Phoenix has almost 200 VPs to make up, but it's looking pretty strong. Gets a Razorback up. We could see these Havocs transition into an anti-vehicle weapon to deal with it, or try to. Oh hey, we have some Mark of Khorne CSM. They've had enough of being shot at by sniper rifles, and I could get into melee with those power melee chain axes. Pretty awesome squad. The Mark of Khorne gives them a health increase and speed increase as well, and some health regen, as you can see while they're in combat. The aspiring champion gets a melter pistol. Not going to be enough to deal with the Razorback alone, most likely. But I'll do some damage here, maybe, if the pathing gods are giving them some favour. Are you going to attack, fellas? What's going on here? Nope. Dawn of Pathing defeats them again. 338 to 129. Plague Marines on the way for Dark Riku. Their missile launcher will help greatly against the Razorback. Could allow the Mark of Khorne CSM and the Bloodletters to get on that rear armor and do some work. Chaos Lord is down on the west side. Bloodletters teleporting in. Force Commander with his Iron Halo though, and that fist doing big chunks. Takes down one. Not a good fight for these guys. Takes down two. There's two shot in them here. Those guys having to warp shift out. Level 5 Force Commander, not messing around. Phoenix keeps the 2-to-1 cap going for now. Here are the Plague Marines. Damage over time bolt guns with that snaring missile launcher and some awesome durability. It's a lot of stuff for them to fight here though. Heretics trying to flank. Scouts spotting it and getting out of there. Plague Marines dropping a model. And they show no fear on the Stone Guard. They do have that knockback chance. There's a 50% chance of knockback on melee when that's active. Really helps them stand against melee squads. Even super powerful ones. They were pretty low there though. They get away okay. Just one model lost. Chaos Lord is back on his feet. Doesn't want to fight the Force Commander though. Used Kill the Weak there to escape. 299118. Bloodletters hit level 2. Plasma Gun Marines now. Bad news for the CSM. Bad news for everything, but especially the CSM. Drop pods being taken care of, I think. Phoenix happy to just sit mid with most of his stuff. Scouts trying to get the east, but he did decap it at least. That's a double now. 271 to 118. Can Riku get himself back into this game? It's not easy. Not going to be easy. This Force Commander alone is a massive thing to deal with. Can these guys set up in time? They cannot. 245 118. It's a bunch of stuff sitting mid. Heretics capping. Bloodletters might wipe a very nice grenade, and I think they will go down. There's a lot of stuff shooting at them, and a big loss for Riku. That could be it. Very tough to come back from this, I feel like. Doesn't have a whole lot of room to maneuver on this map. 222 to 118. CSM are going to get the cap over there. Going to be a 2-1 for Riku. Scouts unable to stand and fight the Heretics without a grenade. Got the cap. Look at that. What's Riku in this now? Level 2 tactical marines with sergeants. We'll be doing a hell of a lot of damage to that plasma gun now. Heretics are going to catch Stone Guard. I don't think they're going to have And they shall no fear ready again so soon either. So this could be a dicey fight for them. Level 2 Heretics with 8 models getting in there. Yep, they did not want to stand and fight that. Would have been a very bad trade for them. Even if they did survive the fight and see off the Heretics, would have been a very inefficient fight in terms of losses just to get that cap. Plague Marines are going to eat some Power Fist. Special attack misses though. 214 to 99 shotgun blast on the Heretics. Are they still closing for melee? They are. These guys are very eager to die for their Dark Gods. The Aspiring Champion gets in, takes a swing, and then runs. There's a Librarian on retreat path. Takes him down. Riku gets a Dreadnought up though. Yeah, that was a weird retreat path. I guess he expected the Heretic to come back that way. Should have just retreated sooner. Instead of trying to close like that. 21192. CSM gets away, but this is looking not so great for the Chaos Lord. Gonna have to explain this to Korn or something. I'm sure they have chats. You know, catch up every week. How many skulls have you got me? More Devastators for Phoenix. More Heretics for Riku to support the Dreadnoughts. Have we seen... I don't think I've seen a single usage of the Worship. Maybe it was used right at the start to speed boost the Chaos Lord, which is something a lot of players do. Vengeance rounds. Trading shots with the Dreadnought. Doing a pretty good job, it looks like, too. Plague Marine's trying to get in and tie him up, I think. There we go. Missile launcher now doing stuff. Dreadnought needs to back the head away. Almost went down. Almost went down. Now Plague Marines are taking a hammer in. exploding on death, but that was still worth it to force close combat like that and get that kill. Double cap now for Phoenix. Riku retaking the east side. Dreadnought needs a hell of a lot of repairs. Doesn't really have time for this. Those guys will just retreat back and heal up. It's not a very long retreat, so why not? Force staff is in. Great weapon to use. Great tool to have in the center here. Force Commander against Bloodletters. We saw that not go so great for the Bloodletters before, but the shield is down now. Is he still going to stand and fight? Oh, he goes after the Havocs. Yeah, it was 2 hits. Most infantry with that Power Fist. 151, 92. Still in play as this Force Commander. It's made such a massive difference. Such a massive difference. Chaos Lord is capping the west side, I guess. But got scared off by the Razorback. 114, 92. Here's that Dreadnought. Doesn't want to fight a Power Fist. But looks like the Force Commander's backing away here. 123, 92. Triple cap here for Phoenix. And Plasma Cannon on the way to cover the mid and be annoying. And take big chunks off the Dreadnought if it hits. And maybe one-shot the Heretics. Which can happen. Poor Heretics to get one-shot by so many things at level 1. It's not going to turn out very well for you. CSM, I don't think. Dropped a model already. Kicking off in the middle as well. Just desperation here for Riku. Trying to get those VPs under control. Suppression doing some work here. Allows him to get the mid. Chaos Lord's found some scouts to take out his anger on too. But those guys decapped over here. Look at this. The CSM did get away. Got a decap too. 64-92. Riku holding on. Phoenix can't quite seem to put him away decisively here. Decent Plasma Cannon's first shot. The other one looks pretty good too. Look at that. Dropping 2 models pretty quickly there, the Plague Marines. Scout Snipers have been awesome. There's only one of them left, level 4. The other guys are also level 4 with the shotguns and grenade. 60-92. Force Commander with a Veil of Time trying to get on the Dreadnought, but got suppressed. Grenade. Oh wow, wipes out the squad. Smite's helping out there. Well timed. And placed. This is in a massive difference that Iron Halo's having, but he's been stopped in his tracks by the Chaos Lord, Mantle of Hate. Very popular tool to use to stop a Force Commander, but this guy's level 7, hasn't been stopped that often. Dreadnought taken care of. 60-80 on the VPs. Riku really has done an amazing job getting Phoenix's victory point so low. I guess even with numerical advantage, it's hard to keep 2-to-1s going. Riku not a fan of this map. Just trying to corner on the east side. GG. And there's the victory for Phoenix. We had a level 7 Force Commander at the end. Did awesome work. And a level 2 Chaos Lord. Very nearly level 3. Phoenix had great momentum in tier 2 and kept it going. Got some very vital kills. Some relatively dodgy retreat paths for Riku's stuff. Or at least not what he was expecting, that's for sure. But there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.